Hello, everybody, and thank you for reaching Better Alternatives. I'm Christie, your wellness warrior. I help people with chronic anxiety and pain to heal themselves, mind, body, and soul. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the sun's entry into Taurus. As of today, April 19th, the sun is entering the sign of Taurus. Now, traditionally, a lot of readers will offer readings for traditional Gregorian calendar months, such as January, February, March. I have decided that I'm going to be offering readings for each astrological month. So as the sun moves through each of the 12 signs, Aries, Taurus, etc., I will be coming on here every month to give you an overview of the month ahead. So for Taurus, the keywords for Taurus are stability, security, elegance, persistence, determination, and stubbornness. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, romance, and money. Taurus energy is slow to anger but quick to love. Taurus, the archetype of Taurus is that of the Earth Mother. It's here to be calming and soothing and loving, providing safety, comfort, and security. It's stubborn. It knows what it wants, and it will do what it takes to get it. It doesn't have to happen now, but it will happen eventually. So when I like to kind of compare the energy of the signs to how nature moves, right? So with Aries energy, it's the energy of initiation and action. When we think of planting the seed in the soil, the roots have to break through the seed in order to start to take hold and grow the plant. That's Aries energy. Taurus energy is when the roots have taken hold, creating that stable foundation so that the plant continue to grow and break through the earth and eventually blossom and bear its fruit, whether it's flowers or the food that we eat. So when we think of the phrase April showers bring May flowers, that's Taurus energy, the end of April into May. All of that warming energy from the Aries sun warming the earth as we start to move into longer days, and the rain that's coming in provides the opportunity for that Taurus energy to take root, create security, stability, and foundation for everything to grow and to blossom. So couple different things that are happening over the course of the next month. I have some astrological aspects that I'm just going to go over very briefly to kind of set the stage for the tarot cards that I've pulled for the month of Taurus. So as we know, today starts the Taurus energy, but we also have Mars is sextiling Jupiter and Uranus right now. So Mars is that energy of action, initiation, let's jump the gun, let's go. Jupiter is expansion and Uranus is revolution. So there's a lot of supportive energy to take action and make things happen and create impactful change as a result. And tomorrow, Jupiter goes conjunct with Uranus. A lot of astrologers are really, myself included, are really excited about this energy. It only happens once every 18 years. Jupiter is like the king of manifestation, and Uranus is the radical revolutionary, right? So what are some deep changes that are you ready to make that can have profound lasting effect in your life? And it's happening in the sign of Taurus, which is about love and finances and security and stability. So where can we manifest and create long lasting change in our resources, how we manifest abundance, our money, even our homes, and some of the closer, more intimate relationships that we have. And then on the 21st, Sun is squaring Pluto while Venus is conjuncting Chiron. So Sun square Pluto kind of shows us where we are kind of getting in our own way, where transformation, Pluto is the planet of transformation, what's necessary to create that transformation. And Venus is conjunct Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid body that represents the wounded healer. It shows us where we experience wounding in our life, how we can heal ourselves. And Venus coming in conjunction with Chiron is giving us that loving, supportive energy that we need to love ourselves, to work through any forgiveness that we need to offer to ourselves, to heal any wounding, so that as the sun's squaring Pluto, we can actually enact the transformation necessary to create all of the change that's happening from this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So it's a lot of really intense energy, but it's a lot of it's happening in Taurus right now, which is slow and thoughtful and persistent. So that brings me to the first card of the month. The overall energy for Taurus energy is that of the Tower reversed. The Tower represents radical transformation, whether or not we like it, but it's reversed. And so what I'm thinking this is representing is that we really need to be thoughtful and take our time and work through all of the opportunities as they're arising and give ourselves a little grace, right? When radical change can happen swiftly, we don't have time to understand it. We don't have time to catch our breath. But if we can slow down the pace of it, we can be more discerning as to how we can waylay the effects of those change, right? Can we slow down the catastrophe and focus on the good things that are happening as a result of this change? So with this Tower reversed, and we're still in Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury is in Aries, which is all about taking action and initiation, right? But Mercury is retrograde in Aries. And it's telling us we got to slow our roll a little bit, have some discernment. So I feel like the Tower reversed is still supportive of that slow your roll energy, because on the 25th, Mercury's going retrograde, or I'm sorry, it's going direct in Aries. So Mercury's going to be able to pick speed back up. But then it enters Taurus. Let me see here. I have it written down. Mercury enters Taurus on the 15th. So we go from Mercury retrograde Aries direct into Aries. So we're slow and methodical to picking up the pace at breakneck speed back into slow and methodical. So there's a lot of hurry up and wait energy that's happening. And if we can learn to kind of be a little more even keeled and steady now that we're in the sign of Taurus, it will behoove us to work with that energy in a calmer, more steady way. We're able to reap the rewards of all the radical transformation that's happening, right? We'll be able to be more discerning of how we can work with this energy, how we can let go of what's no longer serving us, and how we can focus on bringing in what's actually helping us. Because we have the full moon in Scorpio is happening on the 23rd. So in about 4 days, we have the full moon in Scorpio. And full moons are all about release, release, release. And the moon's in Scorpio, again, it's all about transformation. This is a great time to do that spring cleaning, get rid of all of that clutter, that dust that's been accumulating over these winter months, because we're in the sun sign of Taurus, right? It's all about our physical environment. So how can we transform our environment? How can we release the clutter, the dust, the muck to clear the way? But taking our time and going through it in a slow and methodical way, being thoughtful so that we don't realize we threw something out a year from now that, hey, I actually still really needed that, right? Or even next week for that matter. So that brings us to the card for love and relationships, is the Nine of Cups. And I saw this card and I got really excited because Venus is entering Taurus, its home sign, on the 29th, and then Mars is entering its home sign of Aries on the 30th, right? So the planetary lovers are entering their home signs. So there's a lot of really great supportive energy around feeling love and deepening connection in our relationships and taking action in appropriate ways to make beautiful things happen in our lives and with the people that we can kind of network with, and in our close relationships. We can kind of just be content with everything that we have built. Just kind of sit down and take inventory of everything that we've accomplished and be really satisfied with that. and learn to just shower our loved ones with a little more appreciation and gratitude, right? And that what we put out is what we get back. So that brings us to the energy for money this month, is the Four of Swords reversed. And at first when I saw this card, I really was just like, how is this going to work? I had to really kind of sit and go deep thinking about what this actually means. And then looking at all of the astrological aspects that are coming up for us over the next month, this started to make sense, right? So the Four of Swords is about resting, taking inventory, going within, doing some deep reflection, but it's reversed. So there's a feeling of impatience or burnout. It's really take what resonates and leave the rest. It can show up in a couple different ways. I'm just highlighting the different options for those of you watching. So with it being in the influencing money, I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's like some impatience of like, why can't I get the money that I need now, right? Taurus and Venus is very concerned with finances. That's what helps build our stability and our foundation and our security, which is what Taurus is all about. But if we can learn some patience and allow things to come to us instead of pushing for them, I think we're going to see more beneficial results come through if we can just sit and be patient and allow things to come in. But that's going to take a lot of personal work, right? Because there's a feeling of like, I want it now. Again, that energy of hurry up and wait, right, is really coming through. And Mars is sextiling Pluto on May 3rd. So what does this mean? Mars is the planet of action, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. Again, we're in Aries and Aquarius energy. So there's taking action to create transformation in our lives. It's going to be quick. It's going to be swift. But again, the sun is still in Taurus. How can we be slow and thoughtful with our resources so we're not going willy-nilly and wasting them, but actually using them to grow something deep and meaningful? Which brings us to the card for career and job-related energy, whether or not you are an employee or your own boss or a business owner, right? The Queen of Cups reversed is showing up here saying that there could be some discontentment in the workplace environment. Maybe you're feeling undervalued or underappreciated. Maybe there could be a potential issue with like a female boss figure, so to speak. So I ended up having to record this a couple different times because my dog keeps barking at people going by. So what I realized, though, is that it comes down to boundaries, right? Cups energy is all about relationships and love, which that's Venus and Taurus energy, right? So how can we create healthy boundaries so that we are not in a position where we are getting taken advantage of? So that if we are getting taken advantage of, we can stop it from happening. We can limit the resentment that could be possibly coming up as a result of all of that. And just to be clear about what a boundary is and what a boundary isn't. A boundary is not telling someone, do not call me after 6 o'clock. A boundary is to tell a person, if you call me, I will not answer. Boundaries are not telling people what to do or not do. Boundaries are telling people how you're going to respond to what they do or don't do. Okay, so having clear boundaries in place, understanding what they are and how to work with them will help you to kind of figure out where people lie in terms of how they respect you and how they're showing up for you and how you're showing up for them. Are you being consistent with your boundaries, or are you breaking your own boundaries? Are you taking accountability, right? Taking accountability means owning up to what you're doing and not doing. So if you're allowing people to push those boundaries, if you're answering the phone after 6, even though you said you want it, right? Got to take accountability for that. Don't do that. Just an example. And maintaining these boundaries eliminates room for disappointment and resentment to come in. Okay. So that brings us to the health and wellness card. We have the Six of Wands reversed. So Six of Wands usually represents like achievement or a celebration of some kind, right? So it's possible that maybe you've hit like a fitness goal, or you're going to, over the course of the next month, hit a fitness goal that you're really proud of, but you're going to potentially want to keep it to yourself, right? Actually, so I think I'm jumping ahead here. One of the, so I pull an Ascended Masters card and an Archetype card to go along with these readings to kind of help us understand the overall energy, like the theme that's pulling it all together. And the Ascended Master card that came up was the Buddha, with the message of meditation. Right. And so we have 4 reversed cards coming up in this month of Taurus. And usually the reversals can also be significant of needing that like internal work. So the Six of Wands reversed here, maybe it's about being proud of yourself. It's about that self-reflection and honoring all the things that you've accomplished, whether it's losing weight or getting in your steps every day or finally cracking open that juicer, note to self, right? But being really honoring yourself and not needing validation from other people. Spending time in meditation. Again, we have that Four of Swords energy reversed, going within, being reflective. The Tower reversed, being slow, being methodical, being reflective. The Queen of Cups reversed. There's also a lot of Cups energy. We have the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and coming up is the King of Cups. So there's a lot of focus on relationships and emotional satisfaction. And the Buddha is telling us to be mindful and meditative and contemplative, right? And so your spirit over the course of the next month is going to be symbolized by the King of Cups. We have Nick Knowles when the Eagles won Super Bowl 52, right? King of Cups, and again, this is the Philly Tarot deck. King of Cups is representative of like emotional mastery, right? Like celebrating all that you've accomplished, all that you've achieved, being proud of yourself, being the calm in the eye of the storm, being of the atmosphere, but not being taken over by it, right? Like everybody's celebrating, but he's just like chilling, like, yeah, that's right, I did that, right? So that kind of goes along with that Six of Wands reversed energy of like being proud, but not showy. Being of the energy, but not being absorbed by the energy. I like to call this being emotionally supportive without being emotionally involved. The Queen of Cups, right, in that workspace. Being emotionally supportive without being emotionally involved. Detached. Emotional neutrality, right? And so then the archetype card that's showing up for the month of Taurus is the mentor, right? Maybe it's time to finally hire a mentor or to be a mentor to someone around you, close by you. But the shadow attribute of the mentor is the inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master or imparting false instruction, right? So is there some resentment that you feel like you're being surpassed by someone that you've been teaching something to? Embrace that. Allow that person to blossom and thrive, right? Or maybe you have a mentor who's holding you back in that same way. How can you, again, be proud of yourself and let go of whatever, people are projecting onto you? So, and again, spending time in quiet reflection and meditation to kind of like see through the noise of what's going on around you and getting really clear on how you can make the most of the energy that's showing up for you. And again, we have Nine of Cups in relationships and love. So, there's a lot of contentment. It just takes sitting back, right? He's just like chilling on the card, sitting back, being grateful, and appreciative of everything that you've accomplished and everything that's surrounding you. And then just another couple little things here. On May 7th, we have the new moon in Taurus. So this is a really great time to set intentions around financial goals, or home projects potentially. And then the last and Mercury will be entering Taurus on the 15th. And the sun will be entering Gemini on May 20th. So I'll be back here on May 20th to offer you a new reading for the sun entering into Gemini. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video. Let me know that you've enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications when my next video comes up. And also, I mentioned earlier my dog. I'm offering discounted readings in honor of Sophie. I'm calling it Sophie Special. The link to schedule will be down below. We had to have a surgery to remove a tumor from her cheek. It was a little surgery for dogs is expensive. So instead of doing a GoFundMe, I'm offering discounted readings to create an energy exchange. So if you would like to support Sophie, I ask that you take advantage of this opportunity. You can book a 30 or 60 or 90-minute reading with me at a discounted rate. And you can learn something new about yourself. We can either do a tarot or astrology reading. There's some questions you can answer when you book the reading. And you can choose what kind of reading you'd like to receive from me. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to be here, to be of service to you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, reachingbetteralternatives@gmail.com. And I look forward to seeing you next month. Namaste, friends.